back to my channel, guys. This is going to be the first of many videos to come all month long with me revisiting and rewatching horror movies. And today we're starting with the great oldie, Halloween H20, 20 years later. This movie takes place after Halloween 1978, the night he came home, and Halloween 2. Halloween H20 is one of my favorite movies in the franchise. It's a fan service smart film with good humor, a couple of tense moments, and of course, Jamie Lee Curtis. As far as narration goes, this is a great story. You know, very often we see horror movies, we see the predator attack the victims, we see the experience. We get a survivor or two sometimes at the end of the movie, and that's it. But in this movie, we get to see what happened to Laurie Strode. How has her life changed since that awful night 20 years ago? And that's why I say it's a smart film, because at the time, these kinds of movies weren't the norm. You know, back then, they would do a scary movie, and that's it. That's it. Move on to the next one. They didn't do follow-ups. But I really like this version of Laurie Strode. It's been 20 years. She is the headmistress at a private school. Great job, a son, a boyfriend. By all accounts, her life is good. But she's emotionally scarred and deeply, deeply afraid. Honestly, rewatching this, I realized how much more this version of her is realistic and how sorry I felt for her. Never enjoying her life and just always living in constant pain.
There's a little backstory that I haven't been completely successful with.
I know.
I've tried everything. I really have. I've tried everything. 12 steps, self-help, group therapy, shrinks, meditation, everything.
That's not everything.
I think that this version of her is much better than the 2018 version of Laurie Strode that we have up today. Now, don't get me wrong, I really like that version. She's much older and much more badass and hardcore, never showing any fear, but she's kind of like Michael Myers in the sense that she never changes. Her character starts out that way and she ends that way. Versus in H20, the character starts out paranoid, scared, scarred, running from her brother, and eventually grows into a fearless, hardcore badass ready to fight him. When she leaps out and stabs him, you can see it in her face, anger and pain. But she's also not afraid of him anymore, and she's tired of running. This movie, if anything, is a redemption for the character. She redeemed herself after that night 20 years ago. She wasn't there when her friends got killed by Michael. She couldn't do anything to help him. So in this film, she kind of redeems herself from that. Now, there are a few things I don't like about this movie. Number one, it doesn't really feel like a Halloween film. Like, you can tell this movie was not directed by John Carpenter. The soundtrack in this movie sucks. They don't utilize the Halloween theme much at all. They do in the very beginning and then at the very end when the credits roll. When the shape is on the hunt, we get this dramatic, silly theme playing. It doesn't even make it scary. It would only be scary if you were in that situation, but watching it on screen, it doesn't feel scary at all. Here's the original. Kind of gets you racing, doesn't it? In your heart, like that sound just kind of gives you a little bit of chills. Here's Steve Miner's version. That's what happens when you have the guy who created Scream direct a Halloween movie. It's like there are so many stupid references to Scream in this movie. 2 students were even watching Scream in their room. Are you kidding me? In a Halloween movie. Are you kidding me? It's like, don't put that stupid stuff in a Michael Myers movie. I've never liked Scream, ever. I've not even seen all of them. I think I saw one of them. I think it was maybe Scream 2 when I was very little. I've never liked it. I've never liked it. But it's like, this is Halloween. Michael Myers is very different from Scream. Don't put those silly Scream references in this movie. I also wasn't a fan of Michael's mask. I personally thought it looked stupid, honestly. Halloween Resurrection was the first Halloween movie I've ever seen. I was like 8 or 9 at the time, and it scared me for years. Still to this day, it's like I still find it a little scary. But as stupid and pointless as that film was, it succeeded in 2 aspects. The soundtrack and Michael's mask. That version of the mask was the most intimidating one out of all of them, including the original. They should have had that version of the mask in this movie, in my opinion. From the Laurie Strode point, the movie is amazing. From the Michael Myers point, not that much. Especially when comparing it to Halloween's 1 and 2. But for all the stuff that makes it bad, in my opinion, the movie is worth watching, and it is definitely the blueprints for the Halloween 40 years later anniversary series that we have up to date, with Halloween Kills coming out actually this month on the 15th. Laurie Strode is probably the best protagonist in all of horror movies. She's smart, she's relatable, likable as far as her personality goes, and she's very, very strong. In every universe she faces Michael in. Even when she's cornered, nearly paralyzed by fear, she reaches deep down and she fights back. And honestly, I like that about her. Those are all very good traits to have. This is a really good movie, honestly, and as far as I'm concerned, could have acted as a series finale for the franchise. And I count it as that. And as far as the brother-sister Laurie Strode Michael Myers universe goes, I count it as that. Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween H20. That's it. Beginning, middle, end. And it was fun revisiting and rewatching this movie. I really liked it because I've not seen it in a very long time, so it was fun getting to rewatch this. It's worth rewatching, it's worth buying, and I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. But let me know what you guys think. Do you like Halloween H20 20 years later? Why or why not? If you have anything to add, leave me down in the comment section below. If you're new here, please be sure to subscribe, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.